The Champions League served up one of the, well, more interesting matches in the round of 16, if you like, Arsenal and Barcelona. So the Gunners are on top, Janusz, and they did it 2-1. Coming from behind, what stood out in your mind in this contest?
Well, I think that, the thing that stood out for me was that they played smart, intelligent, disciplined football while still, staying true to their philosophy, because that Arsene Wenger wanted to attack, and there was a lot of talk that they're going to high press Barcelona maybe, and I was surprised to see that they didn't. They allowed Barcelona to come out of the back, but they were really compact, although I have to say that I thought the line of defense, the back four, was way too high. They've got, you live and die by the sword, and they did both, as we say, because they conceded a goal like that. They, Messi had a couple breakaways. You look at David Villa, the way he scores. You look at Pedro with a chance, but they didn't have to pay the ultimate price. But, not to take anything away from Arsenal, because I thought that they played very, very well.
Shaka, last season when these two sides met in the quarter-finals after a 2-2 draw in the first leg, we saw Arsenal go to the Camp Nou, score first and then concede 4. Lionel Messi scored all of the goals. Are we going to see something similar this time?
I would think so. That's what
really?
I would like to think. I think Barcelona is certainly capable of scoring another 4 against Arsenal at the Camp Nou.
Another 4?
I don't see why not.
Arsenal is meant to have improved.
But Barcelona are that good at Camp Nou. Let's not take anything away from Arsenal and how good they were today. And it was a very impressive result. But given the complexion of certainly the opening half an hour, Barcelona certainly have the beating of Arsenal. And back at Camp Nou, I don't see why not. Don't I take nothing away from Arsenal? I never thought they'd get anything out of this one today. And yes, improved. But Barcelona, I feel, are better than they were last season as well.
Really?
David Villa in for Ibrahimovic, absolutely.
Well, it was a big result nonetheless for Arsenal, Robbie. I wonder if this is going to do things for them, not only to go for the return leg and maybe get through to the quarterfinals, but also in the Premier League. Does this give them some kind of renewed belief to do great things?
I think it has to give them belief, Andrew, doesn't it? I mean, what a performance. By the way, the level of the game in general today was fantastic. And they'll feel if they can beat the best team around at the moment, then they can go on and do well in the Premier League. It's got to give them confidence, particularly as well when you consider the amount of young players, from the goalkeeper to the midfield players to Theo to every, it's a young squad. This has got to give them a lot of confidence.
Yeah, well, I don't know. Just quickly, guys, if you haven't had your chance, 4 goals, you think Barcelona going to score. I'll leave you out of it. Okay, what's happening in the second leg for you, Janusz?
Look, for me, Barcelona are a much, much better team this year than they were last season. Look what happened then. They didn't play as well at the Emirates as they did last year, but still overall a better team that's going to find a way.
Robbie?
I think they'll find a way. I think Arsenal are a lot better. Barca are better, but Arsenal are a lot better. They had a lot of players missing in that second leg, and they almost kind of threw the towel in some ways. This is going to be close, but Barca, for me, they'll get through.
Roma suffered a big defeat at home, 3-2 to Shakhtar Donetsk. And Janusz, this is, I guess, now a great opportunity for them to go even further. First time into the knockout stage, and they might be in the last 8 as well. Do you see them losing it from here, Shakhtar?
No, I mean, look, you go away to Rome and score 3 goals. I mean, if you give this away, then you certainly don't belong there. I think this is an opportunity that we all thought, at least I thought, that Shakhtar were going to get through, but never in my mind did I think that they were going to beat Roma 3-2. And, they were leading 3-1 at halftime, let's not forget. It's a very, very good club. Everybody should not treat it as some, team from Ukraine that surprised Roma. They've already surprised that by finishing top, by the way, above Arsenal in the group stages.
Yes,
so
indeed.
there's a lot of money there. So no surprise for me. I think they'll get through. But Xhaka may have a different opinion.
He said Roma would go through. You're eating your words today, aren't you? But some of us are also doing the same thing, having to eat a fair dose of humble pie, because, let me also point out, me included, we all picked Barcelona to go through.
Correct.
So can I just state that for the record, I'm an honest person, okay? Is that okay with you,
Thank you I was having my doubts, to be quite honest.
We have the ability to change our opinions every day or every week, right? So we'll see.
Yes, but let me just pose this to you quickly about Roma. Club somewhat in disarray, a lot of things going on behind the scenes. Robbie, with them now, Claudio Ranieri is in a difficult position. He's also lost ground in the race for a top 4 spot in Serie A. Do you see him staying on?
I think he will. Didn't he ask the players if they thought it was his fault, and they all backed him, so he's going to continue in with the job? I mean, this is a bad result for Roma. We know maybe Serie A isn't what it used to be, but I'm not going to write off Roma just yet. It's only a 1-goal deficit. I know it's away from home. I know it's going to be difficult, but they have got some talented players, in there somewhere. Menez can do things. Totti can do things. Borriello, Vucinic. they're inconsistent, Janusz, aren't they? We've seen week in, week out. Sometimes they play great, sometimes they look awful. Questionable at the back, but I ain't going to write them off just yet.
For me, Claudio Ranieri is on shaky ground, and this result certainly does not help. But take nothing away from Shakhtar Donetsk. There are a lot of big spending in their own right, not the names, not the pedigree of the European greats, but they are, for me, the best organised team left in the competition. We saw that in the group stages. My concern was how they come out of the winter break. They answered that with some aplomb, and Roma have found themselves up against it.
Amazing that you still have some room for humble pie after the dinner he just had. Incredible. You have quite an appetite. Great to see you guys.
Unbelievable scenes.
Unbelievable scenes indeed. We're looking forward to the second legs, and I hope you enjoyed this ESPN Soccernet Press Pass Extra.